Hi, I'm Rachel Strabley, Hypnosis with Rachel, and I'm here with ADVI coach, business coach, Sharon Lewis.
And today we're going to talk about breaking business barriers with some strategies and mindsets. Specifically today, we're talking about overthinking, and we did not overthink our presentation. So this should be a nice short one on how overthinking gets us stuck in our businesses and creates barriers.
Life too.
As soon as this goes. So overthinking. So really in our businesses, we know that thinking is a strength, right? So we need to think through our things. But sometimes overthinking can become a challenge. That's when we really just get stuck and we can't proceed based on our thought processes and never get to a decision and never get to take action. Like this to move on its own, and it's not. There we go. Okay. So you want to tell us about how you know when you're overthinking?
Yes, how do you know when you're overthinking? Well, when is it not good and when is it good? So it's not good if you are thinking the same thoughts over and over again and you're unable to take action. If
Okay.
it is good if you're thinking the thoughts over and over, however, there's time to take action upon those thoughts. For example, it's lunchtime and you need to send an email. You know that after lunch, you can send the email. So you can now stop overthinking about that because you have something in mind on how you can take action.
A plan.
A plan, thank you. And
Okay.
it's not good when you're unable to take action because if you're driving the kids and you're thinking about work, it's not a good place to think about work because there's absolutely nothing you can do about it in that moment in time. Or if it's bedtime and you're thinking about what you need to do the next day, that
Okay.
is also overthinking when you should be sleeping so you can take action the next day.
So when you're talking about overthinking, are you um thinking about it in the terms of it's the same thought pattern over and over again? Or because that's a little different than what I think of when I think of overthinking.
So, yes, the same thought pattern over and over again, or thoughts about things that you need to do that you're unable to take action on at that
Okay.
time.
Right. Because what I think of overthinking is more of, I think it's on the next slide, is um, really worrying about everything that could possibly happen, or going through all the scenarios of all your options and never being able to get to that point where you're like, oh, this is how I'm going to move forward with it. So, and this is actually, it does say
Yes.
that on the next slide, right? So analysis paralysis. So and I see this in lots of clients. Not so. I don't think I tend to overthink things. If anything else, I tend to like, oh, let's just go forward with it.
Me too. Go
Um,
with the flow.
yeah. So some of the challenges are you're always gathering data, right? You're never comfortable enough with the information that you have to say I have enough. So um, sometimes with clients, it's getting to having them think through what's enough information. Like, do I research this for months at a time, or do I gather a reasonable amount of information? Define what a reasonable amount of information is, so that you're making an informed decision, because we don't want to make decisions off the top of our head, but we also don't want to get to the point where we can't ever move forward because there's always more information out there somewhere. A lot of people will ask everybody and their brother's opinion, right? Whether they're, you ask your friends and family, which is great, but not everybody has the basis to give you a good, valid opinion, right? So if you just keep, you ask the store clerk, like, what do you think? I was thinking of like changing my hair color. What do you think of this? And you keep asking people. Either you're waiting until you get the answer that feels right for you, or you're just sort of collectively trying to make everybody else make your decision for you. And the one I talked about before is that what ifs. So you get stuck in the, well, if this happens, what do I do? And all these things that could happen, and then you never actually get going. One of the solutions is just to start. And even if it's picking a small part of the project, like small actions, small goals, and getting started, but start before you're really ready. A lot of times our decisions are really just gut decisions, right? Something feels right, and you have to let yourself get to that point.
Yeah, so I also, we both see entrepreneurs starting out, um, start out very small with a great vision ahead of them. However, they do get stuck in each moment of the process
Mhm.
rather than just jumping ahead to what you can do right now.
Yeah.
Or, we've both seen people who feel like, well, they're not educated enough yet. So they got their, qualifications, but
Mhm.
this person has, better qualifications and they're doing what I want to do. And so they gain more qualifications and overthink what they actually need when what they need to do is just put their message out there,
And
let
and
people.
start. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, no, that's a really good point, and that especially the qualification thing, right? If not starting because you're waiting for another degree or you're waiting for another course, and it's all those steps, and sometimes finding an accountability partner is a great way to go. Somebody else who will encourage you and say it's okay to start now,
Hmm.
um, and get moving on things. Otherwise, so my favorite quote is, perfection is the enemy of progress, or it's also perfect is the enemy of good. Same thought, but it's, you're waiting for things to be absolutely right. And I always tell people it's the same thing as like you're making a decision to have kids. There's no perfect time. Just do it
Right.
and get it over with.
Get it over with.
Just go for it. So yeah. So
So
this is your tomorrow I need to do list.
yeah, so these lists, they happen right before bedtime, or maybe it's happening because you're procrastinating and avoiding something. So if you find yourself stuck in what you need to do in the future, even if it's tomorrow or next week, just kind of take a step back and ask yourself, okay, what am I avoiding doing today? Or am I procrastinating on something? Because we can all easily, procrastinate these days with Facebook, Instagram, thinking about what to do next week. But we have a lot that we can also take action on um, today. So becoming aware that you're getting into this mode and becoming aware of what you are avoiding.
Okay. And why you're avoiding it would be also good too, right? If it's based on fear or you
Yes.
don't know how to start, things you really don't enjoy. I think those are interesting because then you could have the opportunity to look for ways to accomplish the same thing without actually doing it, or delegating it to somebody else if you have the opportunity to. But yeah, trying to go into the why you're not doing it. And that's the barrier thing, right?
Yes.
So, so
Ah,
I like your beach slide.
I love the beach. Yes. So thoughts of the past, they can consume you. And I have a lot of clients who come in and they focus on the past, and that brings forth depression. And so if you find that you're overthinking things that happened in the past, you could have done differently, you should have done differently, take the word should out of your vocabulary immediately for going forward, never use it again. But if you find yourself stuck in the past, regretting, wishing, um, all those feelings come back to you and change how you're doing things today. So that's a different kind of overthinking, and it brings you to depression. So if you're struggling with that, obviously consider therapy. You can consider hypnosis. If you're struggling with the past in your business, you can talk to Sharon, who will help you see what good has come from your choices that you made in the past.
Yeah.
But also thinking of the future. If you're overthinking the future, all right, I'm not where I need to be, and in 6 months I wanted to be here, and I'm not going to get there because I'm stuck here. So if you're focusing on the future and it's coming from a place of anxiety and worry, that's a form of overthinking that's going to, possibly create illness. And also, again, if you are struggling with anxiety or worry, then hypnosis or therapy definitely will help. Or if it's the future of your business, again, Sharon is here to help with that.
Yeah, and I think that your point about the shoulds, so should haves in the past, that's basically regrets. And do we dwell on the regrets, or do we learn from what we did? And I talk a lot about shoulds for the future, because the things that people feel that they should do are usually somebody else's stuff, right? So your parents expect you to get married and have 2.5 kids. You should go to college. You should do this, this, and this. And to your point, if you're doing the things that are important to somebody else and not important to you, you get depressed, you get anxiety, you're not happy in what you're doing. So it's really good to look at your values and where you spend your time and your energy. And is it somebody else's values, or are they yours?
Excellent point.
I really like the shoulds, but so hopefully it's some good ideas and tips on eliminating overthinking. And both Rachel and I have some content on our websites about Rachel has a mini hypno boost to eliminate overthink, and I have some steps you can take today to help you get out of the overthinking pattern. So it was very nice to talk to you again, Rachel.
Awesome. Great to talk to you.
We will do this again soon.
Take care.